Hello, I'm Martina Koszula, and I'm following up with you regarding my workshop on November 9th, Intergenerational Trauma Impacting Native American Youth. And this is one of my favorite workshops to facilitate. Unfortunately, I get asked to do the workshop at conferences where I only have about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to facilitate the workshop, and it's never enough time to really do the deep dive into what's going on with our kids and how we can help them. We look at statistics, that the second leading cause of death amongst Native American youth nationally is suicide. We look at the degree of addiction and how our kids are really struggling and just the level of violence, in our communities and what our children experience and perpetuate. And so this particular workshop is going to, what I usually like to do is rather than just let's talk about, some support strategies, I like to create context. And many times, our children are misunderstood because there's such a difference in psychocultural worldview, such a difference in kind of social norms among Native American communities. And so I like to go back and reveal and describe the indigenous worldview. It's that kind of, the worldview that teaches us how to be in the world. It's our concept of reality, our cosmology. It explains a lot. It's many times it's that missing piece that people don't have that really begins to show how very different we are. I go from the intergenerational trauma into colonization. I utilize just a local colonization process over the last 200 years to kind of give you an idea of the level of violence and trauma during that process. And then, of course, then the resulting impact of that is intergenerational trauma, which is can be referred to as intergenerational post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder is an anxiety disorder, and when we start to look at PTSD and we start to look at the symptoms of PTSD and how it shows up in children, then you begin to understand the disruptive behavior in classrooms. Then you begin to understand why there are so many children who are struggling with their behavior and then end up getting punished for it rather than getting the help that they need. Young people who self-medicate, that they don't know how to deal with the anxiety, the depression that they're experiencing. They don't understand even what's going on with themselves. And so they self-medicate, which then leads into addictions. And so all of the problems that come with the addiction, with the anxiety, with the depression. And so what I want to do is to share with you everything that I know and how we can help our young people. And so, giving you just a wealth of information around strategies that we can employ, to help our young people within the classrooms, within our communities, within treatment centers, within the courts. Here are some things that I can share with you, and I get a full day with you. So I'm going to just do a big download of information that I have found to be effective and useful. I've been privileged to be able to work with at-risk youth. I was the executive director of an adolescent inpatient treatment facility for 7 years, and so I've had lots of time to spend with kids, and I love them, and I know what works with them. So come join me again on November 9th. You can go to my website, www.melangeunlimited.com. Under workshops and training is where you can go in and register for the workshops. So I hope to see you.